welcome back to our channel. If you think love is all about happiness, then get ready to be shocked. Some relationships don't end with a simple goodbye, but with tragedy, hatred, and blood. Today, we're taking you to one of the darkest and most twisted revenge stories in the Beyond the Gate series, where a broken heart turns into a raging storm that sweeps everything away. Don't take your eyes off the screen, because this story is not for the faint of heart. It's the dark journey of Eva, a woman who was betrayed and lost everything, only to return with a plan of kidnapping and revenge that will leave viewers breathless. Get ready, because you're about to enter a dangerous zone of emotions and guilt, where no one escapes without a scar. As the afternoon sunlight poured through the cold window, Eva huddled in the empty room. Her heart shattered as Tomas' harsh words echoed in her ears like knives cutting deep into her already fractured soul. Without a moment's hesitation, without a trace of pity, he clearly declared that his feelings for her were just a one-sided illusion, that from the beginning to the end, the only person he loved and would forever be Kat. It was not just a denial, but the complete destruction of Eva's faith, hope, and ego. All the years of nurturing, all the torment, all the silent sacrifices she had made for Tomas were now just ashes blown away in the storm of betrayal. Eva could no longer cry, because her tears had dried up with each time she was hurt. All she had left was the pent-up pain screaming in her heart. Her heart was not just broken, it was crushed into the smallest pieces, and from that ruin, something dark began to rise. Eva was no longer herself. In the following days, she did not eat, did not sleep, just sat in the dark, silently observing Tomas and Kat's every move. She followed their every move through social media, through the calls accidentally revealed when Tomas forgot to turn off the speaker, through the happy photos Kat posted as if to directly provoke her pain. The more Eva observed, the more hatred grew in her heart. Visions of revenge appeared in her mind, not childish outbursts of anger, but carefully calculated, cold, and irreversible revenge. Tomas had crushed her heart. Kat had taken away the only man she loved. They could no longer live in peace. Eva's plan began to form like a small crack spreading across the wall of reason. At first, it was just a few scattered thoughts, but then they connected into a clear chain of actions. She rented an abandoned house in the suburbs, where there was no phone signal, no one around. The perfect place where no one would notice any unusual signs. She prepared everything from ropes, tape, anesthetic to surveillance cameras to observe every corner of that house. Every step she took was meticulous and determined. Eva did not allow herself to make mistakes. This was a battle of emotions, but she would handle it with cold reason. Revenge could not be rushed. It had to be nurtured like an underground fire, smoldering and burning everything when it flared up. Tomas, meanwhile, had absolutely no doubts. He was immersed in a new relationship with Kat, the woman he considered his soulmate. They dated frequently, traveled, shared intimate moments, and the more they did, the more Eva felt like her heart was being torn apart. But she was patient. She knew that to hurt them the most, she had to choose the right moment. She waited until Tomas and Kat planned to have a small party to celebrate their 6-month anniversary. That was when they were most vulnerable. In their happiness, people easily forgot about the dangers lurking. That fateful night, Kat left the apartment to buy more wine. She had no idea that she was being targeted. Eva followed Kat's car with an eerie calm. When Kat stopped in front of the convenience store, Eva took action. A dose of anesthetic was sprayed directly into Kat's face using a device Eva had ordered from the black market. Kat collapsed, without a sound. Eva quickly put her in the car, covered her up, and drove straight to the abandoned house. Tomas, who was waiting for Kat to return, was worried that she was missing but still couldn't imagine anything too bad. He called and texted. Tomas panicked but did not dare to call the police. He drove for 2 hours to the designated location, and there, when he entered the abandoned house, he realized that everything was no longer under his control. In front of him was Kat tied tightly to an old wooden chair, her eyes wide open but unable to speak because her mouth was gagged. And standing behind, with cold eyes, was Eva, the woman he had considered a dead past. Eva said nothing. She looked at Tomas with empty eyes. No more love, no more pain, only punishment. She played a video she had secretly recorded weeks ago, in which Tomas badmouthed her to Kat, laughed at her feelings, called her obsessed, unreasonable. She wanted Tomas to hear everything he had said behind her back, to make him understand that each word was a stab that she was now returning with fear and humiliation. Tomas screamed, pleaded. But Eva was unmoved. She did not beat them, did not torture them physically, but tortured them with silence and time. She left them tied up, without food or water for 2 days. Long enough for despair to creep in, for them to start blaming each other, for their love to turn to resentment, for them to feel betrayed and trapped with no way out like she had. On the 3rd day, Eva began her final game. She placed a loaded gun in front of Tomas. She said that only one person could leave this place. Whoever shot the other would be released. She left the room, leaving the two people who had once loved each other with a horrible choice. The silence stretched for what felt like 1,000 years. Tomas couldn't bear it. He begged Kat for forgiveness. Kat was panicking, not believing what was happening. See? She began to doubt Tomas. Did he have the courage to kill her to escape? Tomas also began to think that Kat could have shot him to survive. Suspicion was growing, and that was exactly what Eva wanted. Everything seemed to collapse. And then neither of them fired. They cried, collapsed, hugging each other in utter anguish. Eva turned around, watching the scene with absolute coldness. She untied them, threw the car keys to the ground, and said, "Now, do you understand how I feel?" No one answered. They could only bow their heads in silence, because there was nothing left to justify. Eva left, leaving the two people who had broken her standing in the middle of the abandoned house with their souls equally devastated. From that day on, Kat and Tomas never looked at each other the same way again. Their love died in that room where the past, guilt and hatred had revealed the whole truth. As for Eva, she disappeared without a trace, as if she had never existed. But the pain she sowed, the scar she left behind, will forever be a reminder. Never underestimate a heart that is deeply wounded, because when love turns to hate. Kat and Tomas thought they had won, thought they could trample on the pain of others to build a future. But they did not know that they had awakened a terrible darkness in Eva, the woman they despised. Love sometimes does not kill, but betrayal is what buries souls alive. This story will haunt them forever, in every restless sleep, in every suspicious look they give each other, and in every wind whistling through indelible memories. Do you think Eva is finished? Or is this just the first chapter of her rage? There are many secrets waiting to be revealed, and we will be the ones to take you to the end of that darkness. If you want to continue following the shocking, dramatic and unforgettable stories in Beyond the Gates, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel today. Every episode, every twist, every breathless moment, all will be revealed here soonest, most fully and most attractively. What are you waiting for? The dark truth has just begun.